in arms Narankaji Shrestha because he explained in a very comprehensive and very unified way the overall political development that is going on in Nepal and characteristic feature of our politics, of our change. Is I think that all of you know very well the tremendous political change, social change and economic change is going on in this country, which is in between the two giants of Asia, India and China. And in this country of the birthplace of Lord Buddha, who advocated the philosophy of peace, harmony and non-violence, and which is just defined as the light of Asia. And it is also the country of the highest roof of the world, Mount Everest. And in this country, within a very short span of time, tremendous political change. There are so many twists and turns in this political process. There are so many opportunities and challenges, ups and downs in the process. But ultimately, we are having a very unique experience of change. We are having a very unique experience of political establishment. Cheers and participants, as Comrade Shrestha has correctly explained the background of our peace, of our political transformation, democratic transformation. For me, this is something very encouraging, something just like a miracle, you know. Just before 1 decade, I was the Supreme Commander of People's Liberation Army. I was a leader of Communist Party of Nepal, Maoist. As you have already informed, that more than 80% of the rural area was controlled by my party and by my People's Liberation Army. This is something miracle, you know. Within a very short span of time, there was a understanding with parliamentary political party, the then 7 political party who has been suppressed by the autocratic monarchy, and I myself proposed to come to a united front, to come to a unity in action against the monarchy, against the autocracy. Right from the very beginning, we are having some unique political understanding. Just after the initiation of People's War, I myself put forward the terms and conditions for peace and democratic transformation. We are not any kinds of terrorist or violent extremism or something like that. Just before the initiation of People's War, we tried to convey our political concern. We tried to address the genuine concern of our marginalized people, all the oppressed class, oppressed ethnic group, women, Dalit, and other marginalized people from regional discrimination and all kinds of discrimination. We put forward a 40 points demands with the government. For your kind information, I also want to convey that before the initiation of this resistance movement, armed insurgency, we were also the 3rd party of the parliament at that time. We tried to convey our concern. We tried to convey the genuine demands of the oppressed people in the parliament. We put forward the 40-point demands to the government, and we give some ultimatum within this time limit. If there will be a genuine address, process of genuine address of the genuine concern of the people, we will continue this parliamentary democratic system. But unfortunately, at that time, government tried to suppress the genuine demands and aspirations, genuine movement of the people, particularly in the rural area, particularly the poor peoples, particularly the laboring masses. So many kinds of discrimination. I cannot go in detail right now. That has been happened all over the country, and we were forced. Not only we had not initiated. Actually, truly speaking, reality is that we were forced to go with the people. We were forced to resist the suppression of the state, and that led us to have an armed insurgency. And because our political demands and our overall political program was based on the genuine demands of the oppressed community and oppressed people, therefore there was a huge support. That is not possible in every condition, but here in our case, we enjoyed within a very short span of time the overall support all over the country from the women. In our People's Liberation Army, near about 50% of the combatants were women. 40% was just like the demarcation, That kinds of participants, those women who have been suppressed, oppressed, and many kinds of discrimination was there, who were not literate. That kinds of women from household came out and took the guns and tried to resist the suppression. This is something heroic, something very encouraging, and it created an atmosphere. It just, Comrade Shrestha has explained here, it created an atmosphere of strategic equilibrium, and in an overall sense of international political situation, world situation, we try to understand the overall regional situation and national situation. And we are worried, we are concerned that if there is a peaceful solution of this war, we will be very happy to have that solution. If there will be a democratic transformation through any peaceful means, we will be very happy. We understand the overall dynamics of the change that is going on all over the world. It is not possible to have a complete victory only through armed struggle. International situation is not like that. In this 21st century and in the century of this globalization and liberalization, all these things are going on. In this very concrete international situation, we concluded that if there is a possibility, we will try our best to catch that possibility for democratic transformation, for peaceful transformation. And I myself, when there was an autocratic monarchy and they were trying to confuse the people, not only here in Nepal, but also in an international forum like United Nations General Assembly. At that time, King himself wanted to be there when there was a suppression to all the political parliamentary parties, and he wanted to go there and appeal the international community. We are having a terrorism because they have already declared the price of my heads and heads of my colleagues. Millions and millions of rupees of price have been there. And in that situation, I took the initiative for political understanding, for peace agreement, for dialogue with the parliamentary parties. And because they were also suppressed by the autocratic monarchy, and all other oppressed community were waiting for any peaceful means, some change, some solution of the problem. And in that situation, I make a unilateral ceasefire and appeal all the political parliamentary party, civil society. Here is our respectable Damannath Dhungana, who also played a very positive role to create the atmosphere of peace and political transformation. And all civil society, all political party came together, and major political parliamentary party came together to have a 12-point understanding. And that 12-point understanding created an atmosphere of the huge mass movement. That kind of mass movement is rare in the history, This armed insurgency and peaceful mass movement came together to have a united front, to move side by side. The leader of 7 political party was the late Girija Prasad Koirala, the chairman of the Nepali Congress, oldest democratic party as it has been known, and I myself came together, a continuous interaction, and we agreed that I should have to hasten the process of armed action against autocratic monarchy, and 7 political parties will create an atmosphere of mass movement, peaceful mass movement. That kind of political atmosphere, armed insurgency and democratic parties came together, all civil society came together, all women and oppressed community came together to have a huge and unparalleled in the history, that kinds of movement, who created the atmosphere of comprehensive peace agreement, who created the atmosphere of democratic change. And for me, this is something new. This is something surprise, This is something miracle. Just after couple of years of the commander of army and leader of insurgency became the leader of the single largest party through the parliamentary peaceful election, became the single largest party, and I have the opportunity to lead the country as a first Prime Minister of Federal Democratic Republic. This is something very unique, and it may be a very good reference for all the people all over the world who really want to understand the uniqueness and the development of peace and democracy in this country. Occasionally, I try to convey my concern. If that kinds of things would have happened in the Europe, or if these kinds of things would have happened in the Latin American country or other country, people have a great attention and so many books, so many news, so many things would have been there. And leader of this peace process would have been given the Nobel Peace Prize. I know in Latin America, in Colombia, they have recognized and given the peace prizes, but I have very much concern that this process is going to be succeed or fail. There are some serious problems have already been come up, but I hope and I wish that this process should be successful. Anyway, we are having a very unique, homegrown and successful process of the peace process. We have already concluded the most delicate and sensitive part of the peace process. Integration of ex-combatants of the PLA combatants into Nepal army and management of the huge amount of arms and ammunition. This one was the part of this process which was very complicated, very difficult. I took again the risk and responsibility without having the leadership, without having a comprehensive understanding of the world affairs, world situation. It could not be possible because always we understand the philosophy of Marxism is not a dogma. It cannot be mechanically transplanted. Concrete analysis of the concrete condition and to draw the lesson according to that and move forward in a scientific way is the soul of Marxism. We understand like that. Therefore, people think that when they heard the name Communist Party or when they heard Maoist, they have a kind of illusion in their mind. The Maoist and Communist will always be dogmatic, will always follow extremism, will always be totalitarianism or something like that. But here in Nepal, we are trying our best to prove that no, this is not correct. We are dynamic. We understand the dynamics of change. We want to create the atmosphere according to that change. We want to develop our ideology, our understanding, our strategy, our tactics for the benefit of the people. We know that every nation and every country has their own specific features, their own understanding. No nation in the world or no country in the world has the same experience which can be 100% we can draw lessons. Every nation and every country has their own unique experience, own process of economic, social and cultural development, political development. We try to understand this. And here in Nepal, after the promulgation of the Constitution, through Constitution Assembly, there will be serious complication and serious concern among the people, either or not after the promulgation of the Constitution, there will be a proper process of peaceful and democratic election of 3 tiers, local bodies, provincial and federal. Fortunately, I have the opportunity to live and there was some serious problems conducive atmosphere, favorable atmosphere to bring them in the negotiating table and try my best to address their concern through parliament. And when they saw that genuine initiative is going to be taken by the Prime Minister and they agreed to participate in the election, although they were not a part of the constitution making process, but they supported the process of election, means they also ultimately supported the process of the constitution, and they supported the initiative of the government for the amendment of the constitution through parliamentary process. This was a very big and very great initiative we have taken, and that created an atmosphere of national unification, and that created an atmosphere of to sideline all kinds of extremism from the political scenario, and ultimately we succeed to organize the election of 3 tiers in a very peaceful and democratic way. Such a democratic way, at that time, the government was led by the Democratic Party, Nepali Congress, oldest democratic party, and we took part in the process. Therefore, the recognition of the election all over the world and its authority has been established. Therefore, in this way, we created that atmosphere, and even then, just after the election also, there was a serious concern among the people, either or not this election will create an atmosphere of political stability. Because during last 70 years in this country, there was not any political stability, not a single government had the opportunity to lead the government for 5 years. Always 1 year, 2 years, maximum 3 years. No government during last 70 years had the opportunity to lead the country for 5 years. I myself, through this peaceful transformation, was very much concerned whether or not this Federal Democratic Republic will work. It depends upon the stability of the political situation. Therefore, we came together to have a unity between the two major communist party of the country. If these two major communist parties will not come together, then there is a danger, there was a danger that again same political instability and that political anarchy will prevail. And no government had the opportunity to lead the country for 5 years, and it will create very difficult situation in this country. And we came together. Fortunately, I became I proposed for party unification, for electoral alliance, and people supported it very enthusiastically. People endorsed our decision of party unity and our decision of political alliance between the left parties. And therefore, there is a near about 2/3 majority, there is a political stability, there is a strong government in the center, in the province, and even in the local bodies. Now we want to focus our whole attention in the economic building. We understand the sustainable peace only be sustainable when there will be a proper process of economic building, economic construction. If there will not be a job for our youth, there will not be a raised level of production, then only through this declaration, people will not be satisfied. Therefore, we should have to focus our attention in the process. And historical opportunities are there. Political stability is there, strong government is there, and main slogan of the government is prosperous Nepal and happy Nepal. Not only the party in the government, but also the opposition. We are also having a good understanding with the opposition that because major political changes has been succeed with the unity between major political party, civil society and the oppressed population. And when we are entering in the new era of the economic development, we should have a national unity, we should have a good understanding, strategic understanding between major political parties and leaders. There is a understanding. All are now concerned how to create the atmosphere of peace, stability and prosperity in this country. Mainly in the economic building. Last week we were having a very encouraging investment summit. People all over the globe come here and they committed that this is the country where there are huge opportunity for the investment. Although previously there were so many hurdles, bureaucratic hurdles, so many hurdles, rules, regulations, so many things were there, and this government, this new government, and our party is trying its best to change that kinds of hurdles and create a conducive and favorable atmosphere for the investment. We understand very well that without creating the conducive atmosphere for FDI, foreign direct investment, it is very difficult for the country like us to address, to satisfy the demands of the people. Therefore, we are going to change. We have already changed some hurdles. Now we are going to change other hurdles and create atmosphere of benefit. Without having a benefit, no party will take the risk for any country, for any investment. They need security, safety for their investment. They need benefit. Without benefit, nobody will invest. People will not just like benevolent. We cannot expect like that. Therefore, we should have to create that atmosphere. We are trying our best to create that atmosphere. And all this stability and development will safeguard because we are having, already we have so many provision in our constitution which is inclusive, the representation of the oppressed community, oppressed section of the population is there, is already, it has been explained. And in terms of the fundamental rights, we have already clearly stated in the Constitution, and at the same time, according to the Constitution, rule and law are there. And there is not any problem from Constitution or some political commitment. But now how to implement it and address the genuine demand of the people, and in result, people now want a result. Until and unless there will not be a result, positive result, people will not satisfy. Neither from Communist Party nor from Nepali Congress or other any party. People have no concern about the name of the party or philosophy of the party. They need the change in the real life. Until and unless there will be a change, they will support the political party, all these things. If they will not satisfy the demands of the people, then people have every right, because they are sovereign, they can decide anything. Therefore, our party in this contest is very much serious to create the atmosphere of prosperity. And I think that this kinds of forum and this kinds of conference will be very much helpful to understand all the process and to create a favorable atmosphere for the development and for the social security, social justice, peace, stability, and labor right. I hope that your deliberation, your conference will come with a very concrete conclusion, and it will be very much helpful for us. Lastly, I want to convey once again, I want to convey my heartfelt thanks to all of you, and wish a very pleasant stay in this beautiful country. In terms of nature, ours is a beautiful country, and if you have the opportunity, please try to find time to see the natural beauty of this country. Have a pleasant stay. Thank you very much.
Many thanks.